An elegant and exotic handicraft, Bidri ware has long been honored on account of its striking beauty and unique craftsmanship. The articles have a shiny black metal background decorated with gleaming silver inlay work. It is the contrast between the black surface and the shiny silver inlay that makes them look so unusual and dramatic. No wonder Bidri ware is an important export handicraft of India and is considered a symbol of heritage and wealth. The term Bidri originates from Bidar, a city in the Karnataka state of India, which is the main center for this craft. Bidri ware took root in India under the patronage of the Bahmani Sultans, who ruled Bidar in the 14th and 15th centuries. Many talented people, including craftsmen from Persia, migrated to the kingdom in the 14th century as they were welcomed by the rulers, who were patrons of art and learning. According to the Indian oral history, Abdul bin Qaisar, an Iranian craftsman, was invited by the Sultan, Ahmad Shah Bahmani, to work on decorating the royal palaces and courts. He brought with him techniques of ancient Persian art form. According to some accounts, Qaisar joined hands with local craftsmen and produced a unique craft, which today is known as Bidri ware. The craft got royal patronage, with the craftsmen being given facilities and comforts to carry out their work. Bidri articles were owned mostly by royalties like the kings and the zamindars, often used as utility objects as a display of one's wealth. It was a hallmark of opulence and aristocracy. Bidri ware was accorded the geographical indication, a sign for products that have a specific geographical origin and have qualities or reputation that are due to that origin. The quality and reputation of Bidri ware is related to its historical place of origin in Bidar and the unique skill set of the artisans of Bidar. The characteristic black color of Bidri ware is due to its unique coloring process involving the application of soil found only inside the Bidar fort. The geographical indication tag conveys an assurance of quality and distinctiveness for Bidri ware. It provides an opportunity for the artisans to leverage the value of their geographically unique products and also helps them inform and attract consumers.
कम से कम ये 550 साल से चलते आ रहा क्राफ्ट ये बहमनी दौर से ये आज भी कायम है। जब मैं 8 साल की उम्र थी मेरी, जब से मैं अपने वालिद का हाथ पकड़कर मैंने सीख लिया। आज 65 एज है मेरा। इस क्राफ्ट में मैं पूरा निछावर बन चुका हूँ। मेरे तीनों बच्चे यही काम करते हैं। मैं पढ़े लिखे हैं, सब कुछ है, लेकिन मैं इन्हीं काम में जुड़ा दिया हूँ इसको।
मेरे पिताजी भी यही करते हैं, दादाजी भी यही करते थे और मेरे चाचा वगैरह जो भी है सब यही काम करते हैं। हम लोगों का ख़ानदानी काम है सर ये। अब प्रेजेंट का टाइम ऐसा है 150 आर्टिज़न है जो इस काम को लेकर चल रहे हैं। 150 में हम भी एक है और जब तक हम जिंदा हैं इसको लेकर चलते रहेंगे।
The base material of Bidri ware is an alloy of copper and zinc mixed in the ratio of 1:16. The silver or brass is then inlaid into the alloy. The process of making Bidri ware is time consuming, and even the making of the smallest of the pieces takes up to 2 days. In some rare cases, a few pieces could even take months to make. Molding is the first step. A sand casting flask is a 2-part metal frame that forms the sides of the mold. The 2 halves of the frame are laid onto the wooden boards and rammed full of a mixture of sand and castor oil, which acts as a binder. The surface is then scraped flat and dusted with a powder release agent. The masterpiece model is embedded between the 2 halves. The artisan stands and puts his body weight onto the sand to achieve a desired shape. This process consumes a lot of time and effort, as it is very important to get the mold right. The groove is now ready, and the masterpiece is then removed, leaving a hollow impression of the shape required. The 2 halves of the casting flask are then put back together, and the frame is tightly bound together. In the next step, the hot molten alloy of copper and zinc, mixed in the ratio of 1:16, is prepared. The molten alloy is then poured into the groove. The sand solidifies the molten alloy almost immediately, and the cast piece is ready. The piece is now filed and cleaned to get the perfect shape. This cast is then coated with a solution of copper sulfate for a temporary black coating. The black coating makes it easy for the artist to sketch designs freehand with the help of a metal stylus called a kalam. All the Bidri designs are made freehand straight onto the article. But simple tools such as compass help in the correct positioning and arrangement of intricate design. The cast piece is then secured in a vise or kept on a wax surface, which holds it in position for engraving. The craftsman uses small chisels to engrave the design over the freehand etching. Thin wires or flattened strips of pure silver or brass are then carefully hammered into the incised pattern by the inlayer.
कार्विंग करने के बाद वो मेटल के अंदर एक तरह का ग्रूव बनता है। ग्रूव बनने के बाद इसके अंदर वो प्योर सिल्वर इनले वर्क मतलब प्योर चांदी होता है। अगर प्योर नहीं रहा तो अगर मिक्स रहा तो वो चांदी हार्ड बन जाएगा। हार्ड होने से क्या होगा कि इसके अंदर बिठाई नहीं पाएंगे हम। चांदी यानी कि सॉफ्ट होता है, थोड़ा बहुत नरम पना होता है उसमें, तो चांदी इसके खड्डे के अंदर रख के उसकी जब ठोकेंगे तो एकदम ऑटोमेटिक प्रेस हो जाएगा। वो लाइफ लॉन्ग रहेगा, जाएगा नहीं और निकलेगा भी नहीं।
The article is then filed, buffed and smoothed. Various hand tools like file and sandpaper, along with different buffing blades, are used. By this time, the temporary black coating gets completely removed. This results in rendering the silver inlay hardly distinguishable from the gleaming metallic surface, which is now all silvery white. The article is then cleaned with kerosene and rubbed with ash. It is now time for the final blackening process. Here comes the magical role of the soil, only found in Bidar Fort. The traditional coloring process uses the soil from beneath the brick walls of the Bidar Fort, which is said to have special oxidizing properties. This soil, which has not received rain or sunlight for centuries, is collected by artisans from the inner areas of the Bidar Fort.
मिट्टी को ऐसा लेके ज़बान पे ऐसा चेक करके हमको देखने से उसके टेस्ट से पता चलता है ये हमारे काम में आएगी या नहीं आएगी। वो साल्टेड नहीं है तो हम वो मिट्टी को नहीं लेते हैं। जो साल्टेड है वो मिट्टी को हम थैला भर के लेके आके रखते हैं। जब तक वो मिट्टी है हमारा काम चलते रहेगा। जब मिट्टी ख़त्म होगा फिर हम जाएंगे एक थैला भर के लाएंगे।
The soil is then mixed with water and ammonium chloride to form a paste which is then put to boil. The article is then dipped into the boiling paste of soil. The effect is magical. Almost instantaneously, the copper and zinc alloy turns permanently into a lustrous black, while the silver retains its brilliance. The attractiveness of Bidri ware is due to the stunning contrast between the inlay metal of silver or brass and the base alloy, which gets oxidized into a deep characteristic black. Finally, the paste is rinsed off and coconut oil is applied to the finished product to deepen the matte black coating.
वो कोकोनट ऑयल से हम उसको शाइनिंग देते हैं, उसका दूसरा कोई पॉलिश नहीं है। तो इसकी स्पेशलिटी है कि आप जैसा कि आज की पीरियड में हम लेंगे 100 साल के बाद उसका कॉस्ट बढ़ जाता है, क्योंकि उसका वैल्यू बढ़ जाता है। वो ख़राब होने वाला नहीं है, ना टूटने वाला है, वो हमेशा के लिए कायम रहने वाली आइटम है, इसलिए उसका वैल्यू है।
ये एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि सर आप जैसा ऑर्नामेंट घर में रखते हैं उसी तरह बिदरी यानी कि ब्लैक गोल्ड बोलते हैं हम, सोने चांदी का गहने जैसा खरीदते हैं ना, उस टाइप का एक ब्लैक गोल्ड ज्वेलरी के जैसा हो जाएगा, मतलब लाइफ लॉन्ग चलते रहेगा। और जितना पुराना आइटम होगा 200-300 साल पुराना होगा, ये एक तरह का म्यूजियम आइटम बन जाएगा, एंटिक पीस के जैसा बन जाएगा।
The design sense involved in the making of Bidri ware is vastly inspired by the designs etched into the ceilings and walls of the Rangeen Mahal, located inside the Bidar Fort, and the tombs of the Bahmani kings. Geometrical designs, floral inlays, creepers, plants, crisscross patterns, Persian roses are heavily influenced by the design elements engraved on the monuments. The craftsmanship of the artisans who created these beautiful monuments over 500 years ago still inspires the local artisans of Bidar.
आप बिदरी को देखेंगे और या फोर्ट में जाके देखेंगे तो एक इसका कॉम्बिनेशन आपको पता चलेगा। फोर्ट में रंगीन महल है, जैसे उसमें फूल पत्ती का वगैरह काम है, बहुमनी टाइम के अंदर का नक्शीकारी वगैरह मिलेगा देखने के लिए, मतलब उससे ही इंस्पायर्ड होकर ये डिज़ाइन जभी से चला आ रहा है ये।
The inlaid ornamentation of Bidri ware is produced through several varying and often combined techniques and materials. The most commonly used inlaying techniques are the Tarkashi, Thainishan, and Mehtabi. Pure silver or brass is either converted into thin wire or flattened strips as required by the design. Tarkashi is the inlaying of fine silver or brass wire into thin grooves. The size of the wire is repeatedly adjusted so that it perfectly fits the groove. Once the wire of perfect size is drawn, it is carefully hammered to create intricate designs. Star work, commonly known as Fuljari work, is an example of Tarkashi. Teh Nishan is the inlay of thin sheet of silver or brass. The craftsman, after outlining the design on the temporary black coating, excavates the area within it. The sheets are then beaten into the excavated design. Mostly floral and leaf patterns are made using the Teh Nishan technique. Today, most Bidri work is a combination of Tarkashi and Teh Nishan techniques. The most difficult and expensive technique is the Mehtabi. In the Mehtabi technique, silver is inlaid on the background while the designs appear to be in black. Mehtabi is the exact opposite of Teh Nishan. The required designs are first drawn onto the surface of the object and the remaining background is engraved, leaving aside the design. The silver is then hammered onto the background of the design. Today, along with the traditional designs, a lot of contemporary designs are also done by Bidri artists to cater to the demands of the customers. The legacy of this ancient craft, passed down through generations, is carried forward by the master artisans of Bidar, who in their workshops continue to create magic with their craftsmanship.